Students, yesterday we have started with the lesson 4, that is current, electricity and magnetism. This is the lesson of a science, and yesterday we have seen very more of the here points we have seen. Today we are going to see the dry cell. Whenever you see the dry cell, it has two terminals. One is positive terminal, one is negative terminal. There is carbon electrode, zinc cover, electrolyte, divider, manganese dioxide and protective covering is there. Now, how is this actually dry cell made up of? That we are going to see. You have to take a dry cell and you have to remove the coating. You know that the dry cells are available in the market, and these dry cells you have to bring and you have to remove the coating of that. There is a particular wrapper around this cell and that wrapper you have to remove. There is a zinc metal layer. After the removing the cover, there is a zinc metal layer. This is nothing but a negative terminal. Whenever you remove the wrapper, there is a zinc metal layer and this is nothing but a negative terminal. Open this layer. What you have to do? Again you have to open this layer. There is another layer inside. Whenever you see, there is another layer inside. An electrolyte is filled between this layer. You may see here, there is a electrolyte filled in between these covers. Now, a electrolyte contains negatively charged, or you can say it is represented as negative charged and positively charged ions. Both the ions are present here. These are carriers of the electricity. We know that electricity is carried due to the charged ions. So here they are the carriers of the electricity. Now this electrolyte is a wet pulp of zinc chloride. That is nothing but zinc Cl2. The electrolyte is nothing but a wet pulp. It is a wet pulp of zinc chloride. That is nothing but ZnCl2. And it is also made up of ammonium chloride. That is nothing but NH4Cl. Where ammonium is denoted by NH4 and chloride is denoted by Cl. Now, there is a graphite rod at the center. Whenever you see here, there is a graphite rod at the center. So, this is nothing but a positive terminal. A paste of a manganese dioxide is filled outside the rod. Whenever you see, there is a paste of a manganese dioxide and it is filled outside the rod. The next point. Now see here, whenever we are considering the dry cells, we have considered many of the, you can say, carbon electrode, zinc cover is there, electrolyte is there, manganese dioxide is there, positive and negative terminals are there. Then there is a cell and many chemicals are present inside this cell. Whenever there are many chemicals inside the cell, there is a chemical reaction going on there. So we have seen that. So we have told that because of the chemical reaction of these chemicals, so the chemicals which are present inside undergo chemical reaction. Electrical charge is produced due to that. Whenever there is a reaction, the electrical charge is produced there. Now where is the electrical charge produced? The electrical charge is produced on the two terminals. Which are the terminals? Graphite rod and zinc layer. And electric current flows in the circuit. Due to this chemical reaction, what happens? The current is going to flow in the circuit. Now see, there is a wet pulp also. Which is that wet pulp? The wet pulp is used in this cell. The chemical reaction proceeds very slowly as there is a, you can say, weight pulp. Hence, large currents cannot be obtained as there is a weight pulp. There is a, you can say, large currents cannot be obtained. Compared to electrical cell, we are using liquids, and so therefore it has the shelf life and it is longer. Dry cells are convenient to use. We know that the use of the dry cells is very convenient as they can be held in any direction, as they are covered and they can be held in any direction with respect to the ground and can be used as the mobile instruments. Once again I will repeat that. See here, there are two of the terminals that are nothing but positive and negative. There is a carbon electrode which is present at the center, that is covered by a zinc cover. Then there is a electrolyte, there is a divider, manganese dioxide is there, protective layers are there. There are two terminals which are positive and negative terminals. Through this positive and negative terminal the current flows, and this dry cell is a very convenient to use because we can hold this dry cell in any direction. The next point we are going to see is lead acid cell. This cell is called as a lead and acid cell because it contains the lead and also the acid. Here lead acts as the electrodes and acid is present in which the electrodes are dipped. That means this figure contains two electrodes which are dipped into sulfuric acid which is called as a H2SO4. The electrodes are made up of a lead. One is positive charge and other is the negative charge. Between the two electrodes there is a potential difference of 2 volts. The voltmeter is tied here or it is connected between two electrodes. Now what actually this figure shows? This figure, whatever we have seen now, is nothing but a design of a lead acid cell. We call it as a lead acid cell because there is a presence of lead and acid. That means this cell is made up of lead and acid, therefore we call it as a lead acid cell. Let us examine its principle. Now we are going to see the principle. This type of a cell can be recharged after getting electrically discharged. Whenever you see that this cell, this type of a cell can be recharged after getting electrically discharged. That means we can charge this cell after discharging, or it can be electrically also discharged. The lead acid cell contains a lead electrode. That means this cell contains a lead electrode, and lead oxide electrode is also present here. That is nothing but PbO2 and Pb. These are the two electrodes here which are dipped into H2SO4, that is nothing but sulfuric acid. Now PbO2 carries a positive charge. Whenever you see that PbO2 carries a positive charge while Pb electrode carries a negative charge. There are two types of charges here. One is positive and one is negative. The PbO2 carries the positive charge. That means the lead oxide carries the positive charge while the Pb electrode, that is nothing but a lead electrode, carries the negative charge. And whenever you see the Pd between this, the Pd is 2 volts. Because of a chemical reaction, there is a chemical reaction between these substances, and that substances are present in the cell, due to which the electrical charge is produced on both the electrodes and electric current flows through the load in the circuit. The next point. In this lecture today we have seen a dry cell and lead acid cell. Both the cells are very important in our market, or you can say it is very useful for us because here dry cell can be used in any direction, and lead cell, it is made up of lead and acid, where we see the two electrodes carrying positive and negative charge. One is of PbO2 and one is of Pb, and there is a potential difference of 2 volts between that we have seen in this lecture. The next point will be seen in the next lecture.